the web, I guess, to find it, but he is talking now.
You mean they're not even bringing him on they're not even bringing him on live TV, huh?
No, he's not. No, that's right. No, right.
I think he doesn't know it yet, but everybody's moved on. Anyway, that's pretty interesting though. Okay, thanks, Jonathan. I appreciate that. All right, let's get into the slides. I've got a look at the market, and if you follow me in futures last night, I pulled down the idea. I said that I didn't like what I was seeing, and then of course the market uh, did end up selling off. And one of the things that got my attention was Nvidia had been hadn't been below 170 for about 8 or 9 days, and all of a sudden last night it broke 170. I said that's a warning sign, and sure enough, Nvidia went down this morning to I guess 165 area. So that was pretty interesting. And in TNT, I pointed out how gold had had moved out. For ever since we hit 3,509, I've been sort of on the sidelines, and I'm looking at gold right now because I see gold going higher. So we'll talk about that in this presentation. So let's just go into it. Welcome, and we'll see exactly what we're doing and how we're doing it. Of course, there's past performance is not indicative of future results. In my opinion, I think the market's correcting, and when it corrects this way, you can get chewed up with options and get pretty chewed up pretty fast if it closes, in that lower third after a day like today. So we got to watch that. But I think that it went down, it made us low. The market is digesting everything, but we're still below. And if you go, and I'll show you this when we go live, but the number I've been sort of putting my hat on is 63.55. Yesterday at 245 to 3, once we broke below that number, the market turned into a corrective mode, and we've been in one ever since. So you don't want to be putting money out there on with long calls. That's why I typed into the TNT room. I passed on doing a TQQ trade today, and I said I'm going to look at selling premium today. That's going to be my strategy, selling premium. So we'll talk a little bit about that, in my opinion. Now here's the tickers. We'll go through those, see what the current outlook is. I like to look at these after a day or like a night last night. I like to look and see how everything's holding and see if there's anything being a star. I know that.
Let me get this updated, Tom.
Yeah, he's going to update it right now, and we'll go through it.
Let me see. Hang on a second.
No, I didn't, Rob. We backed away because of the negative bar. One thing I've learned a long time ago, unless you got a positive bar, you shouldn't be guessing at a bottom. Those bottoms get pretty interesting. You think it's at a low, and next thing you know, it goes lower.
Oh, that's interesting. Right at that FTDI, 63.33.
Yeah, if you look at E-mini, what Jonathan is saying that we went down to the high and broke it. We went down. I think the low was 19, wasn't it, Jonathan? 19.
Oh, yeah, right around 19. Yeah, 18.
Yeah, 18 was the low, which was where the last stop before you go a lot lower is, and they stopped it right there in its tracks, and they've been buying it ever since. So they came from 18 up to 32, 35 area, and sort of were stalled here, but they did bounce it off that low. I think it might be a Genesis day, get the Genesis and all that. But anyway, notice that bonds, though, this was very interesting. Bonds are at really a high level. If you think about bonds I think are high for the week if I look at the numbers. Yeah, they're above 1325, so bonds are higher than the week. TQQ is down at 86. It corrected pretty good from its opening, 88.13, but it's it's climbing its way back into the zone. AMD, another stock that started correcting, it went from 161. AMD did. Had a Monday low of 155.81, 155.81, and AMD's at 152. So we're below Monday's low on AMD. ARM is a stock that fell out of bed way before everything else did, and ARM is down at 154. It tried to rally and they sold it again. Okay. Um, Coinbase, it broke yesterday's low. It's currently about 405. 405. Gold is here's the difference. Look at gold. Gold opened at 314.48 on GLD. And you go look at GLD right now, it's at 315.62. It's gold's headed higher. Gold's solid. Hood, let's see what we got here. Hood, you can see it's long, but it's pulling back to the top of its 3-day breakout on Hood. Yesterday it went to 104, opened at 103.71, below that opening today. Microsoft, this is a put trade that we can do, sell a put. It's currently at a range on Monday of, looks like 505 to 514. Maybe that's no, that's the 5 day. Okay, it opened at 510.97. Microsoft did, and Microsoft's 508. I'd like to see about 505 for me to put a put spread on, okay, on Microsoft. NVIDIA, like I said, the star stock for at least the last month is correcting, and it's at 167. It would have to get above 171.34 today to mean anything. Right now, they're chewing people up in NVIDIA. If you're trying to buy it, it's not a good thing today. That's NVIDIA. Owned computer opened at 59.78. Owned computer right now is at 61.76. We have a position on owned, don't we, Johnson?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So on how we found that needle in the haystack. Yeah, I do. Using this sheet, using this 25 ticker. Palantir's in a corrective mode. Open at 150. Palantir open at 150. It's below its opening. Oracle is about 238, and just sort of correcting, I think, is the way I would say. There's a TQQ, if you look at it, definitely bullish, but not as bullish as it was yesterday. Okay, silver's moving higher. Tesla's got earnings Wednesday. It's hanging in there pretty good. If you look at Tesla, Tesla is 328.80, hanging in there prior to earnings. XRP is holding in there after correcting. That's Ethereum, or not Ethereum, but that's that Ripple. It looks pretty good. The QQQ opened at 564.30. The QQQ did. It's currently 561. That's a bearish setup for today only, but it's been bullish overall. SPY is long on the longer term, but the SPY, if you look at the SPY, 627.74. It's in a bearish setup also. So the main market is still bearish, which two things can happen. It rolls over, goes down and tests the low, or after we get past Genesis, we mark a low and then go higher from there, which would be something that maybe we could look at this afternoon. That's an analysis of the 25 tickers. Any questions about that? Neil's asking, should we hold on to the dividend? Of course. Yeah, absolutely, Neil. That's what they are. You're going to, absolutely. They're nowhere near their all bets off numbers. They're fine. Okay. I wouldn't be aggressive yet, not until NVIDIA comes out. It's a corrective mode. Anyway,
There's a
uh,
question here. It says, so why is the QQQ showing long? If you look at these header box, we have the month open. FTD stands for first 3 days of the month of July. So that's the high and low from the first 3 days. We compare the current price to the high and the low, and you can see that QQQ here at 560.94 is above the high from the first 3 days of the month. So that's why it says long there. To answer
yeah,
your
and let me just say something. I am a market timer. My timing is really speaks for itself, I think you'd say, wouldn't you, folks? And so having that ability to time the market, I can look at it on a short-term basis like today and make a quality play, even though if you got the emotional energy, you can put it on because it's going higher because it's above the 3-day high. Understand the different degree of thought I have, okay? Um, I mean, think about this, okay? Go back to coin. Go back to coin. I want to show them something. Coin. Currently about 40, it's actually 406 now, but that's okay. But look at where it got long, 340 or 357, 50, 58. It was at 430 yesterday. I'm not going to ride some $80 down after it's come up 80, not when I know I can get back in once the storm passes. It's like, if you're out on the golf course and you see lightning and thunder, you take shelter, and 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 so we got a couple things that help us with our timing. This is our picture for the month. Understand that this is our picture for the month. But what helps us for our timing? Our Monday's high, Monday's low gives us a basis, and then what helps us even to get tighter? What helps to get even tighter? Well, the reference bars help us, okay? And so those are the kind of ways that you can improve upon your own personal timing by using what we give you. But this is the sheet we're trading off of. It doesn't mean we're just going to go in there and throw caution to the wind. That's not the way I do it. I'm more worried about risk, okay, than I am about the reward. The rewards will happen if I follow the method and discipline doing it. And things don't have to, uh, you know, things don't have to, what I would say, uh, I just don't like emotional pain. I don't know if you do. Sometimes you're going to have some emotional pain if you're a long-term player, but there's some good side to that too. I'm just saying that even though the month is very bullish, this market doesn't go straight up. It pauses, And people think you got to be right away or all that. All I'm telling you is you got to let the market breathe. Okay, this is that breathing effect of the market. I like it when it's not breathing and it's putting on new highs like yesterday. But hey, these days happen where sometimes it's better to pull back a little bit and let things breathe a little bit. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Tell me you understand that thought. In other words, you don't have to be in all the time. You can sit back and be cool and calm. Okay, good. Okay. All right, that was good. Let's go back or let's keep going. All right, here's the Seven Sisters. And you notice that the Seven Sisters for the week, you got the E-mini came into the day slightly up, the NASDAQ slightly up. But look at the opening price today. If you go look at it, the NASDAQ or the E-mini opened at 63.47, right? 63.47. Well, we're at 63.35, even though we're up from the lows. It's nowhere outright buy right this second. I don't have to take that pain and suffering. The NASDAQ, the same thing. Notice that it opened the week at 23232, and we're right at the week open, but the opening of the day was 23339. Getting closer, NASDAQ's a little stronger, okay? Crude oil, September is down 1.4%. Crude is bearish. I think if it broke that 64.96 and had a good reference point, I'd get short. Now look at gold. Gold is telling you ought to be long. If you look at last night's gold, it was 34.11. We're 34.40. I bought gold this morning. People in my futures first, remember that video I did on buying options at $10 on gold options? It was time, I gave you the video and you heard me talk about gold. I'd have went and watched the video if you had to remind yourself. It was a heck of a trade. Gold was. Silver, same thing, 38.42. Silver had an opening at 38.25. It's 38.46. Two plays there in the metals. You got to, those videos I made are very important videos. And there's bonds 113.10, currently 113.28. We're higher than Monday's high. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's sort of bullish on the Seven Sisters. Any questions about the Seven Sisters?
Yeah, I was just answering Robin's question in there. That trade tracker feature inside the roadmap has all of this FTD data. It has the week start data. And so it's a full picture. You can even narrow it down to an intraday with the RB frame data. So there's features of the roadmap that you really can't get anywhere else. I mean, flat out, all proprietary from Tom. If you're interested in roadmap, you can go to dtitrader.com/roadmap. It's got a feature that looks just like this, what we're showing here, just like the first 3 days spreadsheet that we use every month, but it gives you even more data. And so it's dtitrader.com/roadmap if you're interested. Or you can give us a call, contact Kelly Barber at DTI Trader, or Jeffrey Andraka at dtitrader.com. All right, Tom, next one up is technology stocks.
All right, what I told Jonathan this morning, the technology stocks have been leading this route. And the reason I thought we might be due for a slight correction was I was watching these, and out of these 5 stocks, they're all are down for the week. Does everybody see that? I picked top 5, and when they're down for the week, it probably means you got a little air pocket like we're seeing today, and it sort of warns you, don't be hog wild, wait a little bit. But notice that the week open for AMD is at 157.62 and AMD is at 152. It's $5 below its week open. Notice that Amazon, which was bullish, its week open was 225.84, and Amazon, let me give it to you, is 227. It's hanging in there pretty good. Palantir's week open was 153, and it's at 149. Do you want to buy a stock that's dropping just because it's cheaper? I don't, and I never do. NVIDIA opened a week at 172.75. It's at 167, 168. I'm hoping to digest, and then we get some traction, because this stock is the leader in my estimation. But look at MU. Open the month at 122, open the week at 113. You would think with a lower week open, a lower month, even though this is a 3-day high, you'd think the stock would get some buying. It hadn't. Look at that 3-day low, 118. Then you look at yesterday and you look at what's going on, and MU is at 109. You see what I'm talking about? I don't want to be catching a falling knife. Doesn't mean I won't buy MU again. It just needs to breathe a little bit before I do. Maybe next month or whatever. But the whole point is, this is what I'm doing by looking at the different sectors. This is a technology sector. Nuclear stocks are really taking a hit this week, but they're still bullish if you think about it. I mean, look at Oklo, 54 to 63, NNE 33 to 34, and CCJ 73 to 76. They're all bullish. They're just correcting. I don't want to be added to this position when it looks like that. I want it to settle down and stabilize. Okay, and that's what I'm doing. All right, that's the nuclear stocks. The metal stocks. Notice I got gold and WPM. Look at WPM right there. Open the week at 91.05, currently 94. Very bullish stock. This is a gold silver play. That's bullish. And then, of course, GLD, which we haven't played in about 3 months. And, go look at what I've done in gold and that over the years. I'm pretty, I stay out of the air pockets for the most part, I would say. And so the metal stocks are very interesting to me, especially GLD today. Now the crypto stocks, crypto was bullish this morning, but Ethereum was down at 1.3%. ETH was down 3%. If you go check it right now, it's only down 0.72. It's just correct. This is going to be a lot more volatile when we get to this area. And there's an XRP. It's at 62.87 right now. Above 63, I might consider buying it today, especially after Genesis. That's what that tells me. Okay, that's the crypto stock. Now, COI ends up 19% this month, right? Now, COIW is up 17.18% this month. So you got to ask yourself, if it's paying right around $1 in a dividend, okay, it's paid 262 in dividends, puts its performance at 22. I would rather own COIW if I like coin. Does everybody see my argument there looking at coin versus the high dividend payer? I wanted to point that out. All these work out that way. If you like Tesla, you buy TSLW. If you like NVIDIA, buy NVDW. They're outperforming because you're getting a dividend if you're right on the stock. I just wanted to show people that, but I just wanted to show it to you because it really got my attention over the weekend when I was comparing all these. I said it makes a lot of sense to be in the dividend payers, especially for stocks you like. Okay, that's the deal.
Tom, you had a gold trade today, I think.
I do have a gold trade, and it's going to be I'm going to sell some puts on gold. Let me tell you which ones I'm going to do. Okay, first of all, Jonathan, if you don't mind, let's go evaluate a real market on gold, GLD.
Okay. Let me bring that up and show this chart. You want a 30-minute chart?
Yeah, that sounds good. Do a daily first, if you don't mind.
Okay. Let me switch it over to a daily. That's GLD on a daily chart.
Okay, that's the daily, right? Okay. All right. Now do the 30-minute.
GLD on a 30-minute basis.
All right. Now we got to decide which put we're going to sell, right? So let's just think about it. What was Monday's low, Jonathan? Monday's low.
Monday's low was 311.61.
All right. Go check out a 311, 310 that expires not this Friday, but next Friday.
Next Friday is August the 1st. A 311, 310 GLD put spread right now is marked right around 27 to 28 cents credit.
Take it all day long. Let's do it.
This is a TBUZ All-Stars trade. We invited everyone here, but I'm going to type the trade into the chat. But if you're not in the TBUZ All-Stars program, you will not get any further updates on this.
Thanks for telling me that. or to get in TBUZ All-Stars, every week we find something like this. This is picking a needle out of the haystack, right, Jonathan?
That's right.
I mean, I'm not trading index markets, not trading that, but I am. And I told people when TNT this morning, gold was something to look at. And I've been looking at it, and I said, I always watch it, but I don't always trade it. I'm trading it today.
What do you want to target on this trade, Tom, if we get filled at 28?
I would think if we bought it back at 16, that'd be a nice little trade.
Okay.
Jonathan, look at NI in here after we do this. You can take your time. Just take your time. Give everybody a chance to make the trade. I want to show an NI.
All right. I think we've given enough time here, at least for me to catch up.
I put NI in there. Jonathan, where do we buy this at?
We bought this in Moonlight. We paid 210 for a call spread, or for an outright call, excuse me.
And what are we trying to get out of the thing?
We are trying to get out at 250 to 260.
All right, I'm going to take less. Go at 224. I'm going to book it. This is the first time I've ever traded the stock, but I like the fact it held up, and we'll take it to the sidelines to the general market straightens out. And that's the only reason I'm just going to book it and move.
Okay.
224.
I'll get that sent out here.
Okay. Did we do a trade on the computer?
We did, and in just a few minutes we can check it out.
Let's look at it when you get a second. See, this is the advantage, I think, of following the process, because we got NI with the market, really having an air pocket going, diverging from the general market. I like to have a stock like that, That's the way NVIDIA was before it finally hit its corrective stage. Okay. Does everybody see what I'm talking about? Divergence market going down, the stock I'm in going up. All right, what he's doing is
On ON.
all right.
What we have is we bought a call spread for $1.31.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see where that one's trading at. It's about 5 cents below that right now, and we're targeting, let's see, $1.55 to $1.60.
We paid $1.31.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's exit out at $1.39 on it.
$1.39, lower in target.
Again, I've never traded it before, and I thought that's my first time out, so I like the way it looks. But I always got next week too.
$1.39. That was a TNT tray. We'll get that posted here.
Okay.
All right, TNT, well, a little bit faster than all the others. All cut up.
That's what I like about it. Okay, so we got to let this market play out, be patient. Opportunity will happen. Let it come to us. It's just one of those days, the way I look at it. But we did a gold trade, and that's our goal is find something out there to put on during connect the dots where the odds are in our favor. Any questions for me? Any questions at all? Jonathan, I don't see any questions. I think we did. I think we covered everything, don't you?
Yep, this is done pretty good.
All right, so at 2:30, I got a special broadcast on the power program. You ought to take a look at it if you've got time to come there at 2:30 today. I'll be back then for a special broadcast. I'm just going to be patient and wait for the day to unfold. You've heard what I think, and not going to be aggressive in a market like this. I'll let it use best. Let me just say this: the best thing a trader can do is not force a trade and just let it come to you. Okay. We can look at that before we go, Lynn, if you want to. Put NVDW in there.
You want a daily chart on this?
Yeah, put a daily there.
Okay.
All right, what's that low? I'd say before you had the big rally there, what's that low right there? You see the one I'm talking about? No, over to the left.
On this one here?
Yeah, what's that low?
That low is 42.49.
Yeah, that would tell me I'm probably wrong. Remember, I'm in this for the long term, and I got to give it a little room, okay? All right. What you do is you look where major support is, okay? And the guys, y'all know how to find out when they're paying and stuff like that? I mean, for example, Jonathan, type in NVDW on the web, showing how this works, where they can get these questions answered. NVDW. It'll tell you everything you need to know if you'll type that in there, NVDW. He'll go to a web, bring it up, and it'll tell you when they pay and when it goes X and all that.
So make sure you can see this. I just Google search like NVDW distributions or dividends, either way.
Yeah.
And this is a Round Hill one. So let's go to the actual Round Hill Investments website. And they've got a tab right here across the top labeled distributions. It scrolls down for you. You can see the current distribution rate as of July 21st, 2025 is 51%, pays weekly. If you scroll down just a little ways, you get a distribution calendar. You can see it last paid out today, this morning.
Which
And
means you got to be in that one on a Friday because it has X day on Monday and you get paid on Tuesday for this.
yeah,
Okay.
so
So
they've got these scheduled here already. The next X dividend is the 28th, which like Tom just said is Monday. So you got to be in before that. And then they pay out on Tuesday, the 29th.
yeah, and see, with this one, a lot can happen between now and Friday, and you get rid of a, like today, let's say that the market resolves the correction stage and Nvidia gets back, say, above 170. You're going to lose money if the stock you're picking is in a downtrend. Nvidia's not in a downtrend. You know how I know? Go back to the 25 ticker. Go
Okay.
back.
Hang
Go
on a
back.
second.
This is how I know Nvidia's not in a downtrend. But why buy it today if you can wait to Friday to buy it? My attitude. Okay.
It's highlighted cells boxes will tell you.
Yeah. But look at it. It opened the month at 156, 156, and Nvidia's at 167. You're a long way from the all bets off number on those suckers. But if you're going to buy it, you ought to buy it, I think, as close or that last day, because which would be Friday, buying it, unless you just want to average into it over the next 3 or 4 days. That's good too. Yeah, you won't get the dividend today. If you bought it today, Mike, you won't get the dividend until next Tuesday. But what I'm saying, let's say you're going to put 10,000 in here. What would be wrong with putting 2,500 a day in there to finish off the purchase by Friday? I mean, what would be wrong using that scheme? A little extra work, but I'd rather have a better price, averaging it in. I'm going to be in the thing, right, for a while. My goal is to be in things 6 weeks to 3 months to avoid the grim reaper. Again, you got to pick stocks that eventually go higher for these things to work. No, you don't have to own a minimum number of shares. You can, just do dollar amounts. For example, let's just assume that we did $10,000 in NVIDIA NVDW, right? So divide the price of the stock in it. Jonathan's showing how it works. Divide the price of the stock in it by 4.
I'm sorry, what's that? Price of NDW? What are
Say
we
it's
dividing it
50.
into?
Just say it's $50 a share.
Okay.
So if you're going to put 10,000, you're going to put 10,000 in it, correct?
$10,000 divided by 50 is 200 shares.
Right. Okay. So you're going to buy a total of 200 shares. So if you're going to buy 200 shares, you got 4 days left before it goes X on Monday. So you buy what, 50 shares a day, get you 200 shares by Friday. That math would work, wouldn't it? That's the way I would do it. In fact, that's the way I've done it. Average into it. Anyway, use that main sheet if for these stocks that are tied to underlying stocks. No, I'm not selling, Kevin. I'm just staying in the thing until it hits my all bets off number. My goal is to make it 90 days without it hitting an all bets off number. Because if I'm right on NVIDIA, for example, I'm expecting to see a lot higher prices in the underlying stock. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm expecting right here.
Tom, we got to see how the rest of this day plays out, don't we?
Yeah, we got to see how this day plays out. All right, that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed Connected Dots and come back at 2:30 for my broadcast. Thank you.